Welcome back. Right now, I'm absolutely honored to have actor Danielle Larracuente here with us today. Excited to talk about all the big things she has coming up, some exciting projects, some major roles, and more. Danielle, thanks for being here today. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm well, thank you.
Excited to hear all about what you're doing. And as I mentioned, you have some really big things coming up really quickly. But before we get to that, tell me a little bit more about your journey to where you are today, how it all started, especially becoming an actor, and how you've been able to get to where you are now.
Well, I would have to say I started off actually in beauty pageants. My mom put me in when I was about 3 years old, did that for a while, and I always had that inner drive to want to be on TV and strut my stuff anywhere I could. So my mom was definitely not too into it, but she's like, if she wants to do it, let's do it. So my first commercial was a Snuggles commercial, and I was absolutely terrified of the bear. I was like, this is a real bear. I can't do this. And eventually I got over my fears and did that. And it just snowballed from that. I did a lot of theater. One of my first big projects was I was Nala in The Lion King on Broadway at 9 years old. So that was a really, really big thing for me. And I just kept on trucking, booking stuff in New York. That's where I'm from. And moved out to LA at 15 and was like, I really want to do TV. Let's do it. And I've just been auditioning and moving along ever since.
You know, that's such a big move to go from New York to LA, especially at 15 years old. Was that of a scary thing to do? What do you remember about that time?
You know, I've always had this very, I would say, motivated, I can do anything kind of personality. I think that's what kind of scared my parents. I was like, it'll be fine, everything will work out. And I wasn't scared. I just always knew that this was my path. And um, I wanted to bring my talents to the world, and I wanted to create and tell stories. So I just kept moving along.
And you're very talented. You've gotten many roles over time, the time that you've been within this industry. But not only that, you've also worked hard in other endeavors. You went to school, got your degree, you have done so many well-rounded things. So how did you balance that? How did you balance your acting career with also getting a college degree and doing other things in your life?
Well, when I turned about 18, because again, I grew up in the industry and I really wanted to be sure this is something that I really want to do. And this is something that is my path, which even though I had a strong passion for, I wanted to give myself a chance to try other things out. So I took a break at about 18 years old. And that is when I went off to college. I got my psychology degree. I also went into the industry. I worked in the field for about 2 years. And then unbeknownst to me, it actually was very helpful having a psychology degree and acting. It kind of went hand in hand in learning behaviors and understanding why, you know, people are the way they are and stuff. I also tried out being a cosmetologist and went to cosmetology school. And my parents always joke around. They're like, "Oh, what is Danielle doing now?" You know, I'm always like trying to try something new. And I also started businesses and became a mom. So it was a really great break for me. And in 2019, I had my son, and there was a moment where I was like, what makes me the most happy? And I said, I can't tell my son to go after their dreams if I don't. So I jumped back in both feet, and it's been going really, really well ever since. But definitely, I would say it was crucial for me to have that chance to grow and make sure that this is the path that I wanted to choose.
And it's really been nonstop for you since you decided to jump back into the industry just a few years ago. You know, I alluded to some of the big projects you have coming up. I want to start with a recurring role that you have in the final season of This Is Us. I know so many people are huge fans of that show. Tell me about that because it hasn't started yet. You're in these final episodes, which is a really big deal.
Yeah, honestly, being on that show, it's like a master acting class. It is humbling. It is amazing. I just was like, where am I? Because pinch me, because these actors are phenomenal and they help you and make you, in a sense, bring your A game because they are so good and they're so warm and they're so welcoming. I can't say enough about every actor on that set who, you know, Sterling and Chrissy and Mandy, they just are like so sweet and were just really helping me along and treated me like I was a part of the cast. And you know, my role is very emotional because I play Mandy Moore character's caregiver. So being her nurse and watching her go through her struggles is very, very hard. And I had to kind of keep it together because being a caretaker, it's like you kind of have to be strong for the family. So it was so amazing to have a role like that for me in my career.
Fans of the show know that Mandy Moore's declining health is a big part of these final episodes. And as you mentioned, so emotional, and you play the role of a caregiver for Mandy Moore. Is it as emotional behind the scenes as it is to watch?
You know, I would have to say behind the scenes, it's so warm and loving because we all are going through so much stuff on camera that I would have to say it's an emotional, but in a good way, because I mean, there's just hugging and everybody is so supporting. And even when a certain actor has a really big scene coming up and we know that they have to kind of take their time and be kind of to themselves to get them in that place, very respectful. And any actor would be like, oh my God, this is a dream come true, to really be able to shine and bring your best ability because you have such a great environment.
I'm so looking forward to seeing those episodes and seeing you in them. I know you do an incredible job, and those are coming up over the next few weeks in May of this year, 2022.
Right.
Also, another huge role that you have is Bosch. This is Bosch Legacy coming out on IMDb. I know people are huge fans of previous installments of this series. Tell me about the role you play in this.
I play Paulina Calderon, and she is a rookie, or what they would say on the show, a boot. With Maddie, she actually goes into the police academy with her, and we become pals. And we have our little journey of figuring out the path of being a new cop and the struggles that they deal with, and trying to do the right thing and stuff like that. So it's really, really great. And being a cop and learning how to hold that belt and those heavy boots, I'm like, man, I give it up to them. It is hard work.
And did it feel a little full circle for you? Because I believe both of your parents are previous retired officers.
Yes, it was literally, I went into my fitting and I sent a picture to my mom and dad of me in uniform, and my dad's bawling and my mom's bawling because my dad goes, they actually met in on the job. So he's like, you look just like your mom, and this was such a monumental moment for us as a family just to see that come full circle. And I I'll let you guys in on a little something. I definitely got a little extra tips for my parents. I would run things by them, like, would I do it like this? Or how would I, so right before I got to set, people who would help you figure out how to play the role very naturally, I kind of already knew what to do and how I would stand and how I would approach situations. So I'm very lucky.
And just incredible with, both your parents, as I mentioned, being retired NYPD officers. How can we find out more about everything that you're doing and follow along with your career and all these great things that are happening?
You can follow me on social media. I have Instagram that's at Danielle Larracuente. You can also follow me on IMDb or anything news articles that come out. I'm definitely going to be making some splashes from here on out.
And Danielle, I'm definitely out of time, but I want to ask, what fuels you? What keeps you going? You're so busy bouncing so many things, and many things I didn't even mention. But really, what gets you up every day and helps you make everything work with everything you're doing?
I would have to say two things. Number one, being a mom is so big in my fuel to do what I love because I want to set that great example for my son. But also, being a Latina woman in this industry, I want to see more of us on those screens, and I want to just as great, amazing Latina women creators have opened the door for me. I want to open the door for them, and I that was one of the big things that helped me in this career is like I saw myself in a lot of roles and I was like, I can do that. So I want to keep that going.
Danielle, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today. I hope that you'll come back time and time again. I know that you'll continue to do big things within your career. You can watch Danielle Larracuente in NBC's final season of This Is Us in upcoming episodes. Also in Bosch Legacy, which is on IMDb. And thanks so much once again, Danielle, for her time with us today. We'll be back with more right after this.